Hey Portsmouth, this is Portsmouth's Finest for the month of May. Today is my last show, but I have a good one ahead of us. I'll be having another student representative from a neighboring school district here in Hampton Roads. And we'll be discussing the importance of having a student representative on the school boards here in the state of Virginia and across the country. This is Portsmouth's Finest. Welcome to the show today. Today we have my friend and student representative from Newport News, Maya Patterson. Hi, Maya.
Hello, Janare.
How's it been?
It's been pretty good, a very exciting year, especially being back for the first time, fully 100% in person, so that's awesome.
That's good, I'm happy to hear that. So when you first found out you were going to be a student representative, how did you take it?
Well, one of the first things that close friends and family members would tell me about becoming student representative is that it's going to be a lot and hard work, and it might be very hard sometimes. But I think the thought of being student representative is also fun in a way because it's an opportunity to be on both sides of the spectrum, whether it be authority-wise and student-wise. You get to put that together and especially interact with more students and more authority figures in order to figure out a way to make it best for the students in the schools.
You know, when I first found out, I was ready, but I wasn't ready at the same time because I didn't know what was going to be ahead of me. But
Right.
when you're actually doing the job, it's not as hard as people say it is. You do the job and I guess you get it over with. Students, they're going to ask you for a lot of stuff, such as school lunch. That's their main concern. They love school lunch. Knowing that you can help the students or what they want, it brings a difference to your job.
Right, and definitely getting more input from students, that also helps a lot because, well, that is the job, but this is the actual chance to get somebody that's around all the students and a student theirself, which helps. So I think input is a really good thing also.
Did you get training from the past one, or did you talk to them?
Yes, the past student representative for Newport News was Jordan Moody, and he was awesome. And he showed me around the building and let me know kind of what he did. And I think it's really important to, set up the next person because every year is different, and especially with the pandemic, we started getting out of school early to being fully online and then transitioning back into being in person. So shout out to him. He did a very good job of showing me what it's going to be like and setting an example for what a student representative should entail.
What do you think about being a leader in education? What is your take on it?
Well, I know being the student rep alone is a leadership opportunity, but we also, for Newport News, we also have a group called SAGE, which is the Superintendent's Advisory Group on Education. So the student rep is the co-chair along with the superintendent, and we also have a student from each high school, and so it's like a mini group of student reps basically. And so not only is it just me from my home school, but also students from other high schools. So that small group, it's very important, I think, also because we get to hear from each high school and not mine. Because yes, Newport News is one whole city, but it's different experiences at each high school. So that allows the opportunity to hear from the different experiences and figure out on how we can establish consistency within the schools. So I think that's an important part of leadership with being the student rep is establishing consistency because, it's important to be fair also.
I think being a leader in education as a student representative, it gives you a broader outlook on how to solve problems because sometimes parents come to you about problems you can't solve. So you're like, oh, what am I supposed to do? So you either forward to your higher administration. Even students, they come to you with problems such as, let's say, not having a pet rally. That's a good example. You're like, oh, there's nothing I can do about that, but I can ask to see what we can do. That was a past example here in COVID, because in Portsmouth in October, we couldn't have pet rallies. Right. So students were coming in from each school asking, why can't we have pet rally? I told them the reason, but they saw another school district do it. But I told them Portsmouth all school districts don't have the same rules. So Newport News and Portsmouth might have the same rules as Suffolk and Hampton.
Yeah, and I think another similar to bringing up an issue, one specific issue that was brought up this year, a student came to one of the school board meetings and talked about the dress code and the unfairness and the inconsistency. Is really important to, have the take on multiple schools and not just one. Because, a city is huge. There are a lot of students in a city. And so I think that was a very good example of how you can look and solve issues just by with multiple people.
Yeah, I think in the district like Virginia Beach, who doesn't have a student rep, but they have 66,000 students. They need a student representative to represent all their students. They might need at least two, because adults, like I say a lot, adults can represent a student like a student can represent a student.
Right.
And we have 66,000 students, not have one student on a board representing them. It doesn't help. So I think more districts in Virginia need, or at least it needs to be a law to have a student on your board. Because I know in Hampton Roads, it's 4 districts have student representatives. Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, and Suffolk do not have student representatives, which is crazy to me because they have a lot of students.
Yeah, 60,000 is a lot. Newport News alone, we just have 30,000, and so I can't imagine having double that and no like student voice at all.
What is the greatest thing you helped change this year as a student representative in Newport News?
So I would say that not only being the student rep and having a leadership role in order to help change things, but also just being somebody that's not, I don't want to say on the same level, but somebody that can seem relatable and easy to come to and communicate with. So helping change, the greatest thing that helping to change this school year is being somebody that can just be able to listen and seem relatable and not necessarily above any, like, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel the same because when I visit schools, they think I'm coming to like do observations. That's not my thing. I don't always want to seem like I'm coming to observe you or teachers or principals. I'm there to see the students and let them know that they have a voice in the school system. And having a supportive school board, that's the first thing. If you don't have a supportive school board, you won't be able to do your job properly. Your school board supports you, then you can ask for things, ask for help for students. But like you said, being on the same page as other students, not having them think that you're over them or not listening to them, that's a major concern. Well, thank you today, Maya. I know that you're going to LSU this fall for school. What is your major?
Yes, I intend to major in sports administration at LSU, and thank you for allowing me to come on the show and share my take on being a student rep.
No problem. We have had a good school year this year. I want to thank each student rep in the state of Virginia for giving your voice in your school district. I hope you enjoyed the last segment with Amaya today. This is my last show of the school year, but I will not be leaving you for long. I will be attending Norfolk State University this fall to major in disciplinary studies, to come back here and teach in Portsmouth one day, to continue to help students follow their dreams in life. I would like to thank Dr. Bracey and his team, the communications team, my teachers, staff, family members, and viewers for supporting me throughout this journey of my life. This has been one of the best opportunities I had in my life to help students and help Portsmouth Public Schools change in many ways. I would like to remind you to never give up, follow your journey, and always look ahead of you. As always, keep shining brighter together.